This is Bruce Nauman. He was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana in 1941. His father was an engineer for General Electric, and that caused him to move all around the United States. He studied math and physics at the University of Wisconsin, and after graduating, he decided, it wasn't for him. He wasn't very good at math and physics, and he didn't really like it, so he threw himself into the world of art, and specifically sculpture, performance, and cinema were what he really, really focused on. He was a huge central figure in the 1970s art movement and is a pioneer in the development of post-minimal art. As you can see, his art's very, very unique. A lot of it was video, which you can't really show over PowerPoint, but it's cool. One of his greatest contributions is the investigation of the creative mind and its doubts concerning the production of art. He likes to defy the traditional notion that an artist should have one signature style, which I really, really love and appreciate because as an artist myself, I have so many different styles and it's so hard to narrow down on just one I want to take my career in. Bruce was all about how a true artist helps the world by revealing mystic truths, which you'll see on the next slide here. He actually created it to be a neon sign in 1967. And kind of that's what jump-started his career. His artwork prompts a different experience, which is also really cool. As you can see, this is one of his artworks. It's called the Green Light Corridor. It's very minimalist, but it also creates a sense of a hidden, unattainable space for a viewer to be in, and is just really awesome. He was once said that when you're looking at his art, it should be like someone's hitting you in the back of the neck with a baseball bat. He was all about exploring different mediums, going with the flow, and just embracing mistakes. He said the accidents are what makes it real. And it's what kept Bruce going back to the studio. He liked the excitement of something could go wrong and that could make art better. When experiencing his art, it should be kind of a disturbing, what the heck is going on? Which I think he crushes on all of his artwork because it's way out there and you really have to imagine what he was thinking at the time. Material-wise, he just works with what's there. He tries to find art through the cracks of things. He takes art very logically, which is interesting, and is very critical thinking, and is all about, if I make something in the studio, then it's art. Doesn't matter what it is, but it's art. He's also one of the funniest artists because he thinks the world is absurd and really, really focuses on that in his artwork, which could be cool, could be not, but he really operates with an artist block. A lot of people will, when they get the artist block, they kind of just stop, they go away, they're like, okay, I'm done, but not him, which is really cool. He also, again, embraces mistakes, so that one picture that's blurry, I tried to find a clear version, but he purposely made it blurry for the motion that those people are walking back and forth, which drives me insane, but it's fine. His art isn't considered beautiful, which is weird, but also when you look at it, his art's weird, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, yet it makes perfect sense, at the same time. He's never, ever been able to stick to one thing at a time, and he staked his career on investigating the possibilities of what, art may be, which I think he highly succeeded. He, honestly, his materials and everything is just so iconic. A lot of his videos, are just him pushing up on a wall and pushing back, and that's art. His studio is also a piece of work. It is very messy and kind of looks like a garage filled with junk and broken materials, which would drive me insane, but it works for him. He doesn't care to have things perfectly arranged or anything. It's crazy because he admitted to one winter he had mice in his studio and that he got rid of most of them, but while he was trying to do a different project, it wasn't happening, so he set up an infrared camera and he watched the mice, and that created a piece of art for him. In this art, he just talks about how meditative it was to just come every morning and watch what the mice were doing. which it was very interesting because you had to focus on nothing to really watch it. Otherwise, if you focused on just the mouse, you'd miss other things. If you focused on the cat, you'd miss other things. And so it was very, very interesting to watch this and then see how that was art to him, and that's what he submitted, and it's out there in the world somewhere for someone to see. He was quoted to say, I don't know how many people actually took this art seriously or still do, but I don't care, which I think is a really cool mindset to have in an artist. He creates art that he enjoys, and like that's it, which is really, really cool. He doesn't really like repetitive activity, and so a lot of times in a studio he sits there and he just thinks of what he wants and what would be the most efficient way possible to get what he wanted. He never starts a project the same, but he always knows when it's enough and that when he needs to stop and just end it, which is really, really cool. He now lives on a ranch in New Mexico, living out his quote-unquote retired life because he is now a rancher and loves horses and all that stuff now, and he loves seeing the connection between ranching and art and what art he can make from that.